Hey, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see you guys. Welcome to the bridge call. Danny, how are you tonight?
I'm fine. Anxious to talk about what we're talking tonight. It's good to see a group of you here. Awesome.
Yeah. And
Today
how
is 11/22, two
okay.
master numbers. Think about that one. 11/22.
Yeah.
Energies. And here we're talking about Atlantis today.
Yeah.
I've been getting that synchronicity
Just
a lot. Like just 1 minute ago, I looked down and I noticed it was 8:12 with the 11:11 and 22. But I've been getting that message for like the last 3, 4 days so many times, and it's crazy.
it
I've
is.
been
The
getting a
numbers
lot
are
of
coming up for
downloads of
a lot of people.
information.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
happening a lot. I loved like I have my little picture of my cat on my phone here, and it has the time. Like it has the time.
Yeah,
You see,
look at that.
so many times I look down on my phone and it's 11:11, 10:10. And the other day it
12,
was
12.
1, 2, 3, 4. So I take
See that, Ray?
snapshots of it and I send it off to people. I'm like, oh, look at this.
Look at this.
So I think every day I get something. So they are super active, super like, we're here. We're
Yeah,
here on your side,
pay
working with you
attention.
guys. Please book a time where we can speak to you personally. Actually,
Sure.
I heard that one woman who was channeling, and she says, when you see these synchronicity numbers, that's your higher self or your spirit team saying, can you please, we're trying to call you, we're calling you, right?
Mhm.
We want to talk to you. So can you set aside some time today where we can talk?
Oh, interesting.
So you get the synchronicities on your phone there or wherever, and you go, oh, my spirit guides are calling me. So I go, and then so you got to
Mhm.
let them know it's like, oh, I can take the call right now, or yeah, let's talk at 5 o'clock today. And then you
Yeah.
just sit down quietly, and so it's
See
very
what it
interesting.
Sometimes when I see a synchronicity, like if I do look down at my phone, it's like sometimes spirit tells me like, hey, you need to look into this message. So like I'll type in 11:11:22 sacred scribes in Google, and it'll be the first one that pops up every time. And it is we really are being guided. And a lot of
Oh,
times we're so worried about things like meaningless things, like are we doing enough in our lives, like are we making a difference? And these messages really just assure that you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing, like
that's
stay
right.
present and everything is going to be okay. You're doing
I
more
would
than you
agree.
think you are.
We are. We're very multidimensional.
Yeah.
Very.
And they adore us. They love us so
They
much.
should.
They love us like little kittens and puppies, like they can't get enough of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're definitely cheering us on. We're in the battlefield. We're doing it.
Yeah, they just go, you guys are amazing.
Well, go team, go. Right?
Yeah, you know what? I've just been
Sure.
excited. I've just been excited about new things that are coming. I continually always looking
Very.
at my future and creating and looking at how amazing it is, how many people that I'm meeting and how wonderful my life has turned around and in all the abundance that's available. Like I just go on and on and on about, and then I just like, yeah, it's so exciting.
It is.
So, and then
The energies on the planet.
you get like stupid saying whatever they're saying. You're like, I don't know what's going on, but cancel, cancel, cancel. And then I just carry on. I get back on track and I'm like, no. Yeah. So
Forget about the camera.
every moment is a decision. Every moment it's a choice.
Mhm.
Like where do you want your energy being pulled
Mhm.
towards? You know, do you want it into your future, your own creation, and what it is that you'd like to create and experience for yourself? Or do you want to be in the throes of, you know, like there's a lot of energy hitting the planet. Don't get me wrong. It's coming from all ends, but you can use that to your advantage. You know, you can like, okay, help me activate, help me ground, help me, you know, connect. You can like, this is the winds at your back kind of thing. So it's going to help you sail.
I reckon the excitement is the rocket fuel that takes us forward as well.
The rocket
Rocket
fuel.
fuel.
It feels like it, man. It's the other side of anxiety. It's like once we deal with that kind of bubbly, like, oh, I'm really anxious, and like turn that around and go, oh, I'm really excited. So I did a podcast the other day, and I just listened to it back, and all I can hear is like, I'm so bubbly, like I've got so much to say that's got to come out. It was really uncomfortable to hear it back. I was so excited about the whole thing. But it is,
Good.
it's like such an impetus, such a drive. This, like when we were kids, we'd get excited about stuff and it was like, boom, our bodies were too small to hold it. It just kind of propelled us forward. It's a bit like that.
Yeah, it's like, you know, this really amazing thing is about to happen, and you just like, you know, anticipation. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait for this to happen. It's going to be so
Yeah, it's like
great.
Christmas coming, right? Santa Claus coming.
Yeah, so it's exciting, you know, and it's
Extremely.
and, you know, and you gotta know your future like that, like, you know, your past, you know, and when you can flip it and be more involved in your future and what you're creating and imagining, and imagination is everything, like, you know, and you're so like, stop, you know, you're off in the clouds, stop, you know, imagining. No, don't stop. That was like wrong when they was telling you that.
Supposed to.
So exercise the imagination.
Yeah, when they told us to grow up, that was the worst
Yeah.
advice ever. No, I will not grow up. I'm going to be a child forever. Peter Pan.
Good.
Yeah, you're
An
telling
elf
us, so it's
even.
like, it's all in
Yeah,
your
and
head.
that was exactly my thought. Yeah, child and elf, it's all the same.
Mhm.
So tonight
elf.
we have a specific topic that Danny wants to talk about, but first, can we just bring in the circle and bring in the love and light, and also give a bring in all our teams, our spirit teams, and anybody else here that's wanting to enjoy
Yes.
this conversation that is only here for our highest and best good.
Yes.
So Danny, did you want to pull that
Yes.
circle in?
Yes,
All
I
right, so
can.
if everybody just sit back and relax and calm the excitement down for 3 minutes.
Mhm. A
And
deep
just take
cleansing
3.
breaths.
Yes.
Imagine all your chakras are being and infused with light, and they're spinning at the right perfect speed, and they're all activated. They're all fully in motion. So we're totally connected to Mother Earth, and we're totally connected to source energy, the universe, and all the universal mind. So we call on all our angels of light. We call on all our spirit guides and all the other teams that are around us that guide us and protect us and help us along our way. We also call on Father, Mother, Creator, God to be here with us, to bring this energy of white light, this energy of peace, this energy of harmony, this energy of connection to all things that we need to be connected to. We also ask for this ball of white light to be around us, to surround us in all directions, to protect us at this time, and to open a gateway, so to speak, to the higher mind, to the higher energies of this universe, that they may flood in today in this sacred moment, that we may get more information that would assist us on our journeys here, to learn to teach us more about Atlantis and all the other things that are incredibly mysterious on this planet, that we are open for all energies, we are open for all frequencies of light that are for our highest good, as we accept them all right here as manifest, right here and now. And so it is. Thank you.
Awesome.
So, this is a subject I really don't know a lot on. I don't think many of us do. So I did a bunch of research, but you could do research for months on this subject. But what I'm finding with the different areas that I'm going, many of them agree on the same thing. So when I watch some videos, I always want to know, is this information correct? Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about tonight, I pendulum and I muscle test, and I'm getting that at least 90% of this is correct to my higher self, to me. So, but we want a discussion about this too. If at any time you guys have a question about what I'm talking about, just throw it out there so you don't forget the question. We'll have a dialogue here. And I definitely want your input on all of this. So Atlantis, basically, they say, was in the Atlantic, right? So in the middle of the Atlantic. And so Plato talks about it quite a bit from 360 BC. He did a lot of books speaking about this ancient race. But he's not the only one. The Hopi Indians, I don't know if you're familiar with them in Arizona, very sacred group. They have prophecies from over 900 years ago, and they talk a lot about an ancient race, advanced, that were in the Atlantic. So many of the old tribes, many of the old civilizations talk about this ancient race that were very advanced, that lived on a very large island in the middle of the Atlantic. So we're going to talk a bit about what the information comes through. So a lot of it talks about that they were very advanced spiritually and with technology. So many of them talk about the fact that they were most likely not of this earth. Many of them are talking about that. And so, and Plato talks about that they were not from this race, from this planet. So if a race suddenly appears and they have great technology, how could they be human? It came from other than this planet. And of course, them being, they talk about, there's a lot of channelings through, where's his name here? You guys all know him. He lived in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Oh, I can't find his name. Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce did a great deal of channelings on Atlantis, and he said the same thing, that they were from the Pleiades and they were fifth dimensional beings. And they had a perfect balance between the spirituality and the technology. And they had an amazing race, amazing planets. So they had also great riches on their planet, because on their island, because they had the technology to use what was there, the minerals, the resources of the land. So they used it for good. So I tested into all of this, and I got they were not human. They came from off planet. Whether or not it was the Pleiades, who knows, right? Because another one of the videos I saw, they said that they have information that they were Arcturians also, that there was an Arcturian bloodline and a Palladian bloodline. That I'm really not sure about, but they were very advanced. And Plato talks about it quite a bit. And so many are saying that they came to a time where their ego started to kick in, and there was dissension between different groups, and a lot of conflict started to happen between different groups. And so things got out of balance, so to speak. They talk about being out of balance. And with that, started the decline of their race. So some are talking about, why did it get destroyed? Was it a pole shift? Was it an earthquake? Many feel it was, they actually caused their own demise. I don't know if you've heard this. That their ego was taking over. And of course, they had very high technology, they had atomic energy, and they used a crystal. I'll talk about the crystal a little later. They had an energy source that picked up all the energy from the sun through a giant crystal, quartz crystal. This is how they powered themselves, apparently. I'm getting confirmation on that. But when the ego steps in and there's an imbalance between, the spiritual and the technology, things don't go well. And so I have a friend who, very amazing lady. She has memories of a past life in Atlantis. And her mother did something to this technology that started a chain reaction that destroyed Atlantis. She has actual memories of this, that her and her mother were involved in this. She doesn't know exactly what the technology was, but they did something they shouldn't have really touched. And it started a chain reaction that caused the destroyed Atlantis. So she has a past life memory of that. So is that true? I think it's highly possible. I think it's very highly possible. So when Plato in his dialogues said that Atlantis had a cataclysm and it was destroyed in one day. And a lot of the races believed it was very, very quick. Very, very quick. And some of them are predicting it happened somewhere around 9600 BC that it collapsed. That's some of the information. So is it a myth or is it real? As you know, I do past life work, and I've had a few clients with memories with past lives in Atlantis. And I know myself, I was there. So I truly believe it was real. I do not believe it was a myth. I truly believe it was real. I had a lot of lifetimes there. And so many of these philosophers and the psychics, including the Hopis, say that they are not from Earth. They're from another planet. Now the word is that they did spread to other continents, had their technology with them. And they lasted for many thousands of years, their technology. In their technology, they used a lot of sound and vibration. They were very big on that, healing with that. And they also connected to other dimensions. They had that great technology. And they were very advanced spiritually. So that was easy for them to do that. Let's see what else we got here. Yes, so there is a talk that it was a possible pole shift at that time, at the destruction. That means that they didn't cause it. So I'm not sure. I tend to believe they caused their own. Their technology, their ego stepped in, and there was a lot of dissension amongst the people. So after this, according to Plato, tremendous amount of spiritual and technological tech energy knowledge was lost when Atlantis was gone. It was like, what do they talk about, the library of something that was destroyed at one time? A famous library that had all ancient knowledge. Do you remember that?
The Library of Alexandria.
Exactly. So they put this in the very same thing, because they documented everything. They had tremendous libraries and information, and with the cataclysm, all that knowledge was lost.
Oh,
Which is sad. What was it? It can carry forward into future lifetimes, right? So So there's a famous esoteric teacher and an occultist named Rudolf Steiner. He said about Atlantis that they could convert life force energy like prana, chi, and energy into technology. So with they were actually able to harness chi and prana energy, the life force energy. Also said that they could control time, they could manipulate matter, they could reverse gravity, and they could create unlimited energy sources. So the energy source that Edgar Cayce talks about is this massive crystal called the Great Crystal. This crystal picked up energy from the sun and to a point where they could use this and harness this energy to power their cities. Very interesting information. So I truly believe that many of the Atlanteans are walking amongst us. I know of a small handful myself. I'm one. That they're here in great numbers, actually. And can you imagine when they all awaken with their knowledge and their skill, how they're going to help our civilization? So I don't know if anybody has studied the Kali Yuga. So it's an ancient Indian
I
system.
have a little bit.
Yeah, so they say we're on a 5,500-year cycle that civilizations grow and get very technology and spirituality. And at the end of that cycle, it's collapsed and it disappears. And then another new cycle starts and another new civilization starts. That every 5,500 years, one collapses, another one starts. One collapses, according to them. And I tend to believe that there's a lot of truth to that. Whether it's not 5,500 years, it could be more. Because a lot of the information I've been getting is Atlantis was here for well over 10,000 years. It was here for a very long time. And do we have any? That's all the information I have. Anybody have some questions?
Well, it must be true, Danny, because they made a TV series called The Man from Atlantis. So if it wasn't true, they wouldn't have been able to make the TV series. That's what I reckon.
Okay, Helen.
Yeah, because they ain't coming up with this stuff by themselves.
I mean, it's very mysterious, and it's
They must
very
have got it from the Simpsons.
Simpsons. There you go. But the
99.9.
talked a lot about the Atlantis, the old ancients ones. And I tend to believe, many believe that when it was destroyed, a lot did escape by boat, and a lot of them ended up in the Yucatan and were the Mayans. Look at the temples and look at the pyramids that the Mayans made. Where did they get that technology and that knowledge? Many say that they were the Atlanteans that actually escaped, that survived.
Yeah, I heard that a lot of them escaped.
And ended up in Mexico. That tells you that the island was out there in front of the Caribbean. Right? So we know this is, truth is coming out. The history is going to come out. We're going to find out more and more as time comes on. It's a fascinating subject. Do we have any questions, any comments?
Oh, okay. I have got a comment. I read two books about Atlantis. One of them is called The Child of the Universe, and the other one is called Hypnotic Journey to Atlantis. The last one is written by Cyrus Breckmans, and the other one by J.L.F. Sullivan. It's based on hypnosis, past life regressions. And the information was quite really almost very typical to the biblicals. But there's one thing they emphasize in that book, the Atlanteans, they used energy that they are not really supposed to use. And the difference, because he said it's not really based on love, but it's just based on ego.
That's right.
And also scientifically experiments quite a lot by getting energy from experimentations. And also they created what they call human animals. And they extract the energy from these human animals to give them an extended life. And the way they use it is not according with the divine law. And
Right.
that is, and it caused them a lot of disease. And for them to heal themselves from all this disease, they managed to go to another islands, which they are very spiritual, and also they are very advanced in healing and medicines. So the Atlanteans, they try to go and to get some form of medicines from this group. Let me remember their names, and that is the only way for them to survive. So so in fact, they did clashes with this group. I think it's, let me remember the name what they call. And in fact, they destroyed their civilizations completely. And they managed to steal red crystals. But the leader of that group, she's a woman. She was captured and she was a prisoner in Atlantis almost for over 6 years. But she is a wise woman and she knows how to use the crystals wisely. So she's the one who managed to activate the crystal to destroy the Atlantic civilizations. The book is called The Child of the Universe. It's quite really beautiful. And the other one is called Hypnotic Journey to Atlantis.
Well, that kind of correlates with some of the information I was getting that.
Regarding that woman.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of add on a little bit.
Sure.
It really does go hand in hand biblically too. Like, I was getting downloads of information, tons of it, and it's like the tree of knowledge basically is there's this divine energy that we can harness, and they've used it for their own selfish gain and control. And this has been happening lifetime after lifetime. And I think we're just making the ascension closer and closer, rising out of that. But I do think there are other beings that are stepping in and deceiving humanity in a very, very deep way. And I think people like to draw a correlation to the physical realm of these cataclysmic events that are happening, but it's spiritual what's happening. It's almost like God, the highest energy, is like wiping it out and wanting us to start over again. But I think that's why a lot of the energy, there's God is telling, like it says in the Bible, God told Noah about this cataclysmic, this flood that was going to happen. And maybe they're going underground, they're knowing about this information and they're surviving. It's very deep. I don't know. These are just some things that I've been really thinking about too.
And who's going underground? Are you talking the Cabal?
I believe that both sides are basically going under. Right now, there's many civilizations that we're finding that are underground, and they're really trying to figure out how and why and these are dating back to the times of these cataclysmic events that these underground civilizations are. So I don't know if it's these enlightened beings that, like I said, they're tapping into some dark energy, and they're the ones that are controlling this whole realm from the fourth density. This is the fallen world. We are here to, it is a spiritual battleground, and we're here to learn lessons and grow and evolve. But like I said, there are other beings that are coming in and deceiving humanity. And
disguised.
Yep. They have taken on human. So Danny, the Atlantis, they're starting, it's a weird thing because you had the Homo sapiens or whatever, and then all of a sudden we see this immediate jump in human intelligence. And some say that they're these spirits or these spirit beings they came down, which they think is like the Anunnaki that came down, and that's where the humanoid started. And then we start seeing these advanced civilizations, and then it wipes out, and then it starts over. We see this another advanced civilization that comes in. We really are.
It makes sense that it was from outside this planet that they came here from other planets, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like Earth was at the point where we could live in it, and we came here, and you should really listen to the Emerald Tablets. Some say that, so these Emerald Tablets were in the pyramids, and they left this information here. So when they came back in the next lifetime, it would remind them, and it would awaken their consciousness. And we have to really be careful about the media and everything like that, because they're trying to guide us down this completely different idea of the pyramids and these ancient civilizations, because there's a deeper meaning to why these are still here. And the Emerald Tablets, they really did change my life when I read it. So, and it talks about Atlantis.
There you go.
So I also heard the interview that Billy Carlson was talking about, and he mentioned a little bit about Atlantis, but he basically said, we are on it right now. So we are on Atlantis right now. So
interesting.
What's available in Atlantis that could help activate or get access to, or the tablets or the crystals or the energies, we are on it right now. Like we're on it, standing on it. So we are connected to it and being able to eventually pull from all that. Like that's what's coming.
Yeah, it's like they put energy points, like maybe that's what these pyramids are. They're these energy centers, and we really do have access to this energy, and it really is all holy ground.
And they said that there's tons and tons of pyramids inside the earth, and the pyramids are built a specific way. So if you expanded the pyramid, like if you put a pyramid in the middle of the earth and you expanded it out to the size of the earth, the pyramid would touch certain points in the planet to activate everything. So that's what's happening now, is they're all coming to the surface. And they're all going to start activating all these points. And that's why they're all, eyes on Egypt right now, because that's the next opening, that's the next portal, or that's the next section of the planet that needs to be activated. So yeah,
very
so there's
exciting.
Yeah, it's like it's a movie in itself, right? When you're trying to connect the dots to everything, and it's like, but every subject takes you off into some other movie, and then you come back, you're like, oh, okay, now I see what's happening. So, and you're the
That's a-
main player.
Yeah, I've got one thing to add up. Most of us who are living right up now from the Atlantic civilizations, and a lot of our scientists today, they are the same scientists who who were there during the Atlantic civilizations.
Yeah.
And also the way we are manipulating the genetic manipulations and all these things, this is exactly the same thing they did during the Atlantic civilizations.
Yeah.
The only thing is we did not really go as far as them. Our consciousness is based on love, based on Father, Mother, God. But during the Atlantic civilizations, it's just ego. They have no love, they have no consciousness. And the way they experiment with Mother Earth and inhabitants, it was just far beyond the principles of the universe. So most of us right up now also is the lessons for us really to say, are we going to destroy the Earth, same like what's happened during the Atlantic civilizations, or we are going to do a better jobs?
Right.
And the way we experiment with things right up now, exactly the same thing they did before, but it's one thing that our advantage now, we have got consciousness, we have got love. We are more connected with Mother Earth than before.
But also we're having a lot of energies coming into the planet that are assisting us to go 4D and 5D.
Yeah.
So this is a little different than when Atlantis was around.
Yeah.
Right. And we have so many old souls, you know, the advanced souls living on the planet at this time to help push us up to the fifth dimension. For once.
He also mentioned that there are generational beings on the planet now that are descendants from Atlantis that are like, there's now been generational beings that are now living on the planet that are directly from Atlantis. So it's a direct connection, direct link from that lineage, right? Yeah, and I'm not knowing about the ego aspect, but I was also told, or I don't know how I got this information, but another race came in to Atlantis, and that's when everything got interfered. So it was like an outside race, outside source. Yeah. And then that's when it crumbled. Because I thought Atlantis was pure in the beginning.
It was.
And then another entity, you know, gang.
Some say it was AI. Negative.
And I think that's why they had to burn their books. That why they couldn't let their knowledge carry on the way that it was carrying on. And yet it still is there. It's still with us. Like we still have access to it. It's maybe it's in the pyramids. I don't know. They found clever new ways of carrying it forward. And I wanted to say something about what Danny was saying about the underground baddies is what I heard.
Baddies?
That's not the word that he said. The dark energies, the baddies, the dark energies. I think that there's enough people, enough light workers around. So for the dark forces to have any power,
breaking up.
And there's enough of us now. Sorry, there's enough of us here now. saying, no,
Yeah.
we're done with you. We're not having
Yeah.
anything to do with you. And they can't get a hold of anything. And my dreams for the last 2 weeks have been so much about what's going on below the surface right now.
Mm.
And they've been telling me this for months and months and months. There's almost more energy going on below the surface than there is above right
Wow.
now, as in preparation.
Mm.
It's, in fact, for the last year, they've been alluding to this, and it's like they're almost ready. And that aligns with what I'm hearing you say about the pyramids and things like that. Like it's what's going on in the center of the world.
Yeah.
And in a way, what's coming from outside is a little bit of a smoke screen to take, oh, look at this, to take our attention away
Yeah.
while they get ready below.
Hello.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I was wondering if anybody has heard of Mu.
Mew?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were there at the same time as Atlantis, and they were
They say
much
they were
more-
before, but
They were
anyway,
before.
yeah.
They were much more peaceful people, maybe
Yes.
more feminine, and maybe Atlantis decided that they need to get rid of them.
Good question. I haven't studied Lemuria much, but apparently they were all spiritual with no technology.
Mhm.
Very spiritual beings. So they had the abilities, you know, telepathy and all the other, being able to manipulate energies just with their consciousness. From what little I know, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sure about that, but we understand that Lemuria was before Atlantis. But it seems that every great civilization has its peak and then it collapses and then a new one starts.
But
So
do they know where they were located? Were they like in South America?
Mhm.
I don't know enough about it,
Yeah.
unless Tahir has. He seems to be well read.
Well, no, it's not in South America. They sit around the Pacific.
Pacific.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah, like Philippines, Indonesia, Mali, around that area.
Okay.
But the leader of Atlantic, they invaded the civilization of Amun, and they caused so much destruction to them, and even they captured their queen because they are seeking medicine.
Okay. So was it Lemuria they attacked?
Yeah, they attacked Lemurians
Okay.
and they flooded completely, and they captured the queen. They imprisoned her for 6 years,
Right. Okay.
and she had the knowledge of red crystals, and she the one she activated the destruction of Atlantic civilization.
Oh my God.
Maybe that was my friend's mother.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll see. The truth
Yeah.
will come out.
Was the Noah's flood that caused the destruction? Was it related to destroying Atlantis, the Noah's flood? Actually, I've heard that there were many floods before Noah, but
None of the information I studied said that, but myself, I tend to believe that the Noah flood was a different timeline and the Atlantis destruction was a different timeline. Whether or not that's correct, I'm not sure. I believe there's a lot of information from the ancient races passed down that we've had many floods.
Yeah.
At least 3, 4, 5 of them.
right.
Many floods. So we know that the truth's going to come out soon, and it's going to be amazing when we hear it. I mean, to me, you know, ascending is amazing, of course. To me, knowing what actually happened on this planet and its people for the last few thousand years is going to be fascinating. When we actually get the truth, It's going to be fascinating.
Mm.
They'll have to make a bunch of movies on it, but not in Hollywood.
In our holograms, it just like
Mm.
flip. It's like, oh, what movie do we want to watch?
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
asking,
why not? Yeah.
yeah, I was asking
Um,
Frank about that. I said, is there any written documentation where eventually it'll be disclosed or brought forth where that has the truth? And he said, yes, there is, and it will come forth. There's quite a bit
There is.
of written knowledge where humanity will be able to finally know the truth. It's like, wow. I said, because there's like many versions of the Bible that are missing.
Yeah.
There's so much missing to the little information that we get. So we're just getting little pieces constantly. But
Mhm.
I think it was Billy Carson too that said, or no, it was a shaman. It was a shaman. He was living in the mountains for a long time. And he said it was time for him to come down to the mountains and now start mingling with other people. And he goes, the internet has been a godsend
There it is.
to, bring the information out and connect us all over the world the way it did. I
Mhm.
mean, with every powerful thing like this, of course, there's always the
The
other
dark
side
side.
that's trying to destroy it.
Mhm.
But like, Helen was saying, we're made of pure consciousness, and there's too many of us now on the planet. So we're being able to get the information out. So stay tuned. Is
Mhm.
all I can say. Because even my dreams, I'll be having dreams, and then I'll just snap right out of bed and going, what the heck was that all about, right? And then I just try to recall it, because it was like you're here 1 minute and you're there the next minute.
Mhm.
So fast. You're in and then out, and you're like, oh, because a lot of times I can recall the dream
Right.
and make sense of it, but some days it's like one reality. It's like you're just changing conversations. It's so fast.
Mhm. We could do something interesting.
Why would we want to do that, Danny?
I'm getting I could channel some information about Atlantis.
Yay! Finally.
Well, it's just coming through right now.
All right.
Are we up for it? Any more questions before we start?
So
No?
let's all align our intentions to having pure light come in,
Yep.
the
Pure
correct
pure
information.
knowledge. What's coming through is a council. I guess you would call it a High Council of Atlantis at the time. That was of the light, that were spiritual before its decline. Yeah, they're here with me right now. There's a group of them, 8 of them. Okay, are we ready? We wish to come to you at this time as we heard your discussion. We wish to maybe clarify or bring new information to you that may not have come up before. Yes, some of the information is very correct. We are not of your earth. We came here in ships from a number of different races, mostly the Pleiades. We came here with a great vibration, with a high knowledge, spiritual knowledge, universal knowledge. We came here with the energy of the heart, the energy of love. We came here to colonize. We came here to grow here on your planet. We were a little larger than your average person, a little taller. We came here with great abilities to work with your earth energies, we found it an interesting challenge for us to mingle and work with the energies of your planet, especially your crystals. We had the ability to harness the crystals' energies. Crystals are such a source of energy and purity where they can attract energies from the universe and attract energies from the sun. We use that to our advantage. We used it with our higher mind, with our higher consciousness, and always with our hearts. Our hearts were always involved in whatever we did. We were pure. But things have changed. Things went sour, so to speak, on our planet. We were infiltrated by other beings who incarnated into our civilization with an agenda to disrupt us, to bring in darkness, to bring in confusion, to bring in chaos, so to speak, on our planet. And it was a very slow, gradual infiltration, so to speak, of these other beings who incarnated through our people. We saw it later in its later stages, but it had gotten to the point where it was very hard for us to focus on, or very hard for us to deal with. Their numbers grew, and it affected other of our races here, where they decided to follow those dark ways. We were losing our connection to source, and we were growing our egos. So our civilization started a downward spiral, a very sad downward spiral. And it got to the point where it was out of our control. There wasn't enough of us with light, with the universal source energy, to hold the ground, to hold the space. And it was a very long process. This all happened over thousands of years, where we gradually went down, gradually went down. Many of you know about the story of Babylon and why that brought great destruction to the planet, because morality was lost, spirituality was lost, it was chaos, it was violent, much similar to us, to Atlanteans at the time. We will not give you a lot of information, for it's going to come out, as you said, in hidden text and hidden scrolls. That information will be surfacing on your planet, along with the voices of the true Atlanteans that are walking your planet. They will come forward, and they will have the truth also. So they will speak from a time of when we were in love and light and spirituality. They will have that knowledge, and that voice will come through from thousands of years ago. Be ready for these people that when they come, for they are prophets. You may call them prophets. They will speak the truth. They will explain how Atlantis was formed and how Atlantis fell. In many ways, it is a sad story, but this is a time where the new Atlanteans, the new light workers who have come in great numbers on your planet, are going to change all that. For once and for all, we are going to win this war. The light is winning, the dark is losing. And this is the lifetime that all of you are here on this planet to witness and be part of that saving of your planet, bringing it to the next stage of consciousness, bringing it into light, bringing it into spirituality, and letting go of your material world, because your world has become very material. And it's time to let that go. That is the darkness. Your darkness on your planet is going down in great leaps and bounds, and the light is growing up in great leaps and bounds. So look forward to your future. Be excited, as Lucy said, because much is coming to you in the next weeks and months ahead of you. Greatness is coming. But yes, expect a little chaos. There will be some chaos. Do not get involved in the chaos. Do not let the chaos bring you down. Keep your heart centered. Keep your consciousness high. Be in love and kindness for others. And you will get through this much easier than you can imagine. For when you break through this, you will get to meet many of us from the past Atlantans. It will be a wonderful time of a community and unity of all the ancients, along with those that are living today. Greatness is coming. Greatness is coming. Look forward to it all. For all those things of the past are now going to stay in the past. For only moving forward and upward is your destiny, is your future. We wish to share this information with you as we are standing here with you in this present era. Our energy is not lost. Our energy is still here in this moment in your history and time. We are also here on your planet in spirit form, assisting you, guiding you, and watching you achieve your greatness, your closeness and connection to source energy. A wonderful time to be alive. Know it, be excited by it, breathe it, meditate it. It's yours to have. And we watch you from above. It was spoken earlier that we are in gratitude for all of you that took human form at this time, because you are doing the groundwork. You are assisting this planet in raising up to the next level. We love to watch you, and we assist you with our hearts and with our minds and our consciousness. We wish to leave this with you today, as you are our brothers and sisters. You are our family also. And we send you great love. Namaste. Wow. So this group of 8 were surrounding me, very loving, very spiritual beings, and one was speaking for the group. And he looks like what you would see online of a Palladian, long blonde hair, beautiful, handsome male, beautiful energy. We wish to thank you for this transmission today, as we are very grateful for coming through to us today. Thank you so much. I don't remember everything, but I'm sure it was interesting.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
Yeah, actually, it was like a really good message.
Because they were listening to our whole podcast. They were here. And yes, this business of being excited. We need to be excited. Like kids, and Christmas is coming. Oh, the packages are coming. Santa. All the candy canes are coming, right? We need to, I know I am. I've been excited for months, like something amazing is just about to happen, right? Something wonderful. So is there any comments, any questions?
You mentioned the Kali Yuga before.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked it up and it said it started 3,102 years ago, BCE. And it
Okay,
will
so
last
that's
for 432,000 years.
Mhm.
and there's many
So-
cycles that the civilization grows and then it just leaves.
This was the fourth one, the fourth most degenerate Yuga, the Kali Yuga.
Kali Yuga.
And it died when Krishna died.
Okay.
And it started when Krishna died. Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, from what we're learning from the Atlanteans, was it an outside source that caused them to fail? Was it the dark coming in and affecting them and bringing them down? That's what I wonder.
Yeah, Danny, I really do believe that it is other beings that are stepping in
Yeah.
They're holding the power. They're holding all the wealth in the world.
Yeah.
They're holding the truth and the knowledge. And basically what's happening is they've created a system here where they're exposing the ego side and the animal nature within. It's bringing everyone down this low energy and this low consciousness. It's keeping them in a third dimensional mindset, for making us forget who we are. So through spiritual evolution and change, we start to let this ego go and start letting go of the materialistic realm, the physical realm from the third dimension, allowing us to ascend higher. But yeah, there are forces here that are trying to prevent that. But as we connect more to nature, like the four elements, we're getting out in the sun, we're doing breath work, we're cleansing our bodies, we're fasting, we'll start to ascend above that consciousness and that energy, and really start to bring back that high consciousness and that loving energy that you're talking about. It'll start to spread.
I'm being guided to share something. As a shaman, I'm asked to do a lot of powerful ceremonies for the planet. And in October the 1st, 2020, I was asked to do a ceremony, and I didn't understand what I was about to do. I'm just, God gave me a download and said, do it. So I did it with 5 other people, but I ran the proceedings, and we did it in a medicine wheel. And when you mentioned the 4 elements, the elements were used in this ceremony. And so what I did is I called in all the heavens to bear witness to this ceremony. I called in the angelic realms to be present and bear witness to us. I brought in the air, the water, the earth, and the fire to be present to the ceremony. And what happened was a new energy was brought to the planet that's never been here before. A new seed.
Wow.
So we had a fire. We were on the medicine wheel, and we were drumming, bringing in that vibration. And as this was, I don't know, 15 minutes in, I got the vision of a shape like this, kind of almond shape. It was quite large. It was just above the trees. And as we drummed, it sat there, and then out of it came a smaller seed, much like an almond shape, but it's almost like the shape of a vagina of birthing. And so this seed came down about the size of my hand, and it hovered directly over the fire. And it was waiting there. And we continued to drum, 5 of us. This was going on for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then one of them picked up the pace much faster. I knew that he was being guided. So we all picked up the pace. We hit the drums much faster. And then that seed shot through the fire down into the center of Mother Earth. That seed was planted. And I was told this energy has never been on the planet before. It's going to be a new birthing for the planet. And the October the 1st was the harvest moon. It was an amazing ceremony. Amazing. I don't tell this story, but I'm being told now to bring it out, that many changes have come to the planet. And this is a new birthing of a new frequency, of a new energy that's never been here before, ever. So there's no going back. We've already won this. We've already won this. What this energy does, and that I was not privy to, source never told me, just mentioned that it's a new birthing, a new frequency for the planet. So Mother Earth is birthing a new way of life for us. Think of it that way. A 4th dimensional, 5th dimensional. And in that birth, there is no darkness. There is no darkness. So this is what we have to look forward to in the next few years. Hopefully in
Danny, it's already here. It's already here. I did a really deep, intense meditation again a couple of weeks ago, and I felt it, and I was like, "What is this? I've never felt it before." And it's, I don't know whether you know a Masida and a coda and all that shit. I
yes,
felt
you are.
like it was coming through me. It was like, wow, and it's a phenomenal energy. It's very different to anything that we've felt before. It's in a way it's kind of
It is.
stronger than
It's never been here
stronger
before.
than love. No,
Mhm.
and I was just lying there going, "This is really new. I've never felt this before." And they're like, "Yeah, we know." So I think you're onto something there.
One
Yeah,
last thing.
I've heard that too. New energies that have come in
Yeah.
that's never been here before.
So what was really interesting, there was an outsider that was allowed to watch the ceremony. I didn't think should be there, but Spirit said he should be there. So he was outside the medicine wheel. And this is quite a large medicine wheel, easily 20 feet across. It was beautifully done on sacred land, ancient sacred land when we did this. So when we were done the ceremony, it was over. This man said, "You should have seen what you did." I mean, I was channeling the entire thing. So there was times where I was silent, and there was times where I was calling in, say, the angelic realm to be present here to what be part of the ceremony. When I was speaking, the smoke from the fire went horizontal, went over my head, and then straight up. And as soon as I stopped talking, the smoke was normal directly over the fire. Next time I spoke, the smoke went horizontal to above my head and then straight up. Only when I spoke. So that was interesting that we had to have an outsider there to witness what we were doing.
Yeah.
Smoke moved as I spoke.
If you could see that picture behind you, Danny, it looks like the smoke's coming straight up out of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Out of
smoke
my
coming out of
ears.
your head
I
right
don't know.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got a lot of smoke coming out your head.
So we've been birthing a brand. This was 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Oh.
So imagine where the planet is now with this new energy that's never been here before. So I needed to share that with you today.
Thank you.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
hang on, it's going to be an amazing ride yet.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So
Any
it's getting
comments?
on to that time. So
Yes,
if you got
it
any
is.
burning desires, you want to share anything before we wrap it up?
I do. I want to share something about timelines.
Please.
Okay.
So I met this couple of girls day before yesterday, and I looked at one of them and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Right. I just had that thought. Right. And then her friend looked at her and pointed at me and she said, "That's you in 50 years' time."
Interesting.
Said, yes, it really is.
Wow.
So this was
It really is.
a younger version of you?
I'm goosebumps.
Absolutely. I was like, oh my God.
My legs are like goosebumping right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's happening to me all the time on so many levels. I saw myself on the TV. I'm like, that's me. That's how my life would have gone if I carried on that line. But now it was like I was talking to my younger self, but she knew it. That was the wildest part
Wow.
because her
That's
friend
the
said,
amazing part.
I know. I was like, oh my God, it's
So maybe
really
you're a split
happening.
soul and that is you.
Oh my God.
But I think we all are, Danny. This is what I've been saying for all the time. We are all each other. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't identify
Yeah,
as that. But when it gets as clear as I looked at her and I was like, that you're me. I could so everything about her was like that was me at that age.
Oh my God.
Anyway, just wanted to let that piece
Oh.
out excitedly.
All right.
Yes,
She looked
Good.
like you also.
keep up
Have-
the excitement.
Mm.
Helen, did she also
Yeah.
look like you?
I think she kind of did, more so than her
Okay.
friend. And
Yeah.
what was really weird as well is when I hugged her, oh my God, she felt just like I would have felt at that age. So she had some like kind of like she was shaking like this, but she didn't know she was shaking. And I literally just held her and calmed her right down like a mother would do to a child. And she felt it. She just dropped into her beingness.
Good.
Yeah, I've got a picture of them, and she put herself in my phone as
Mhm.
oh, and her name's Helen as well, Elena.
No,
Her name
Elena. Well, that's
is
Helen
as
another
well.
spelled different.
Oh, Helena, yeah. Helena,
Helena.
your younger self. She put herself in my phone as.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
No,
gotta
we do
keep, we
look
gotta keep a
alike.
lookout.
Yeah, we got to just keep finding ourselves, you know,
Yes,
because
yes,
we
yes.
are out there everywhere.
Aren't we? We're all.
Oh my God, that is
Really conscious.
exciting. That's like some
Uh-huh.
woo-woo stuff.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got the goosebumps. A little bit.
Ooh, I'm just goosebumping right now.
Mhm.
Like I
Wow.
actually want to like go hit the crowds.
Go
See
for it,
who you are.
Lucy. Go for it. You know the energies around here. You know what they're like.
No, because I always get, wow, you look like so and so all the time. Like, I know.
Okay.
So, and when I was doing Bijan's work, I said to Bijan, I said, why do I always get, oh, you look like my aunt, you look like my sister, you look like my friend, you look like, or you remind me. And he said, well, you've been here a lot of times. And
Mhm.
they're just recognizing,
Yeah,
you know,
that person.
who we were
That's
in another
right.
life.
That's right. One of the things that we did, this blew my mind. I I said, how would it be if this was a prearranged meeting that we set last
Oh my
time we
God, I'm
met?
getting goosebumped
I
out.
know,
Yeah.
I know. And then I said, what we're going to do now is we're going to intend another one in the future.
I love it.
Like to test
That
it,
would be
because Danny
amazing.
said you got to test everything.
Test
So
it
I'm like,
out.
Yeah.
test it out. Let's see. Let's throw it out there. It's this whole conjunction and intersection and all that stuff. It's like it's
Very
mind
cool.
blowing.
That's
It
so
is.
great, man.
Wow.
Oh,
what an
that's
experience.
exciting.
That's why you need to be down there.
I know. I gotta get back.
You've got to get back. Come on down, Lucy.
Well, I'll go with you.
Come
Hide
on
me in your
down.
baggage. I'll come to Costa Rica with you.
Yeah, let's
December,
go.
December, January. I'm there.
The
I'm
flights
there
aren't that
from-
expensive either.
No, they're not. I looked this morning.
I looked
for
yesterday.
somebody
I was
else
like,
this morning. Yeah,
what the
Reasonable.
heck is going on? How come they're so cheap?
yeah, yeah. That's the time where you press the button. You
Yeah.
go. That's how I
like-
got to Canada. I looked and I went, "Wow, that's cheap." Boom, press the button, and then dealt with everything else that I
Later.
had to deal with. It's the only way to do it, Lucy. You know
I
that.
know.
You know that.
Get
You
rid
just
of
got to
everything,
jump.
just
You know,
go.
the money will come and all that stuff. It'll all work out.
It always works out. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
you just got to
so taken
listen.
care of. Oh my God.
I know it's incredible.
Like even
Mm.
here, like I'm so taken care of. It's like guidance. Just
Well,
follow your guidance.
Oh,
So I did say I'd meet you in Costa Rica, so
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's
Actually,
do
I
it.
was playing pickleball today, and a guy, he's taken off to Costa Rica in a couple of weeks. And he goes, do they have pickleball there? I go, oh yeah. That's where I started. So awesome.
awesome.
Well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much, Danny, for
Very
bringing all this
interesting.
information and
Mm.
to
Lots more
hear, and Daniel, I don't, oh, there he is. Okay. And everybody
coming.
like
Daniel for coming.
bringing the energy and
Mhm.
exciting woo-woo stuff and timelines. Like all the timelines are happening simultaneously right now. The dinosaurs still exist.
Yeah.
They're just on another timeline.
Yeah.
Why do you think they keep bringing, what's that new movie coming out? The monsters are all dinosaurs?
Is it not Jurassic Park or what?
Yeah, there's like a couple of them coming out soon. It's like, really? Because they're
Yeah.
still going on. They're still alive and well,
Different
right?
timeline.
Try to keep up. Just try to keep up.
Mhm.
Just let the subconscious take it all in.
Lots to do.
All right. Well, thank you so much. So let's just do a little bit of a closing. If anybody, everybody okay with that now? We'll do so if you want to just like close and connect.
Mhm.
Did you want to do it or did you want me to do it, Danny?
You go ahead. You
All
go.
right. So I want to just acknowledge everybody for being here and all our spirit friends that are here. Yeah, there's great gratitude and appreciation for everybody that are here in physical form and also in light form. We appreciate and thank you so much for assisting us on this planet in this time, in these exciting times, in these chaotic times, and helping us to remember by giving us your little signs, 1122, 1111, 1, 2, 3, 4. Please keep them coming, keep us awake. We signed up for this journey. We're fully on board, we're fully committed, and we look so forward to being able to meet you live, even though it's all physically happening at one time. So thank you, Mother, Father, God, Yahshua, archangels, all our animal friends.
Being here with us.
And the waters. So thank you so much for being here, guys. Please stay grounded, please stay connected, and if anything is getting too intense, it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion.
Just
okay.
breathe.
And whatever it is, just allow it to come up and say thank you and let it exit.
Great show.
Thank you, guys. So
Thank you for all for being
until
here.
next week,
Yeah.
be well.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to all those Americans out there. Don't eat
Thank
too much
you.
turkey.
Thank
happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Laura,
Yes.
Happy
thank you.
Thanksgiving.
take care. See you
Bye.
All
next week.
right, guys. See you
Good night,
later.
thank you.
Daniel.
Thank you.
Bye.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.